Mr. Water Theseira.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you. Sir, the general question a tax bill should answer is whether it is fair, sustainable, and improves the efficiency of the economy. I will discuss how, in my view, this bill achieves these objectives. The tax reform that will probably affect the most Singaporeans is the change in tax treatment of private hire drivers' income. Honourable members and the public have asked for private hire drivers to be treated like taxi drivers for tax purposes. At this point, I wish to declare my interest. I am a director of the Singapore Taxi Academy. Now, the basic problem is private hire drivers are taxed on revenue and not their net income presently. Since car operating costs are high in Singapore, their effective tax rate is much higher than it should be given their net income. Now, let me illustrate the difference that this bill's reforms will make. Grab informs me that their full-time private hire drivers have gross revenues between $6,400 and $10,800 per month. This is before commissions and expenses. Now, today, private hire drivers can already deduct commissions, which are about 20% of fair revenue on average. But even with these deductions, they would pay from about $2,000 to $6,000 in annual income tax. If we assume that drivers' net income is about 40% of gross revenue, the average tax rate for the more successful drivers could reach 12% of their net income. So 12% of the net income is actually higher than the average tax rate for Singaporeans with chargeable income of $160,000 annually. Now, under the proposed bill, a full-time private hire driver will have a reduction in tax in the range from about $1,800 to $4,700 a year. This is an annual savings that is like 1 month's bonus for these drivers. Now, sir, I understand there are some 37,000 private hire driver license holders. Their tax burden will be substantially reduced by this bill. This bill will also affect our 97,000 taxi driver license holders who can now choose to have the deductions computed by formula. But sir, is this a handout, a subsidy of some type that is costing the taxpayer? I would say no. It is actually a reform that improves the efficiency of the economy. After-tax earnings should reflect the economic value of work done. It is not efficient to tax private hire drivers more than we tax taxi drivers when they do the same kind of work. Tax reforms like this will encourage Singaporeans to seek the most productive types of work and reduce the chance that their work decisions are distorted by the tax system. Now, sir, this bill will help our tax system address new challenges in our economy, which the previous honourable members have spoken about. The scope and nature of work is changing. We are seeing an unprecedented shift away from full-time employment into alternative flexible forms of work, such as freelancing and contract work. Economists Alan Kruger and Lawrence Katz show in a paper forthcoming in the Industrial and Labour Relations Review that the proportion of US workers in alternative work rose from 10.7% to 15.8% from 2005 to 2015. In Singapore, the Ministry of Manpower reports that in 2017, 8.4% of Singaporean workers were self-employed own account workers. This was an increase of 23,400 workers between 2016 and 2017. Mr. Speaker, sir, the question is our tax system ready for these changes if and when they happen? Are the incentives right so that Singaporeans neither rush to alternative work nor do they shy away from it? Now, bringing this back to the tax bill, one area we could consider for tax reform is to ensure that the employees and the self-employed are treated the same when it comes to social security costs. Now, consider medical costs. Many full-time employees are covered by company group health insurance. The company deducts these medical costs as business expenses. But what about the self-employed? Now, except for MediSave, the self-employed do not enjoy tax deductions for personal medical costs. So the problem is employees effectively pay for medical costs from their pre-tax income, but the self-employed pay for it from post-tax income. Now, although CPF contributions are not a tax, I do beg your indulgence to touch on this very briefly. Retirement and housing are also very important social security costs, and CPF contributions are tax deductible. However, the self-employed are not required to contribute to the CPF ordinary and special accounts. They therefore earn higher take-home incomes, which may appear to make alternative work more attractive. Now, sir, some say it may not matter because the self-employed are free to voluntarily contribute to CPF for housing and retirement. And of course, then they can enjoy the tax benefits. But unfortunately, a wide body of research in behavioral economics suggests people react to taxes and contributions which are visible or salient, and they underreact or ignore those which are not. A paper by Congdon, Kling, and Mullainathan published in 2009 in the National Tax Journal provides a very good non-technical summary of this kind of research. So what is the relevance then for alternative work? The problem is that take-home income is salient. The benefits of being an employee are not salient. The value of company-provided medical benefits, annual leave, staff training, and so on are not salient to workers. The value of CPF contributions, which provide for the social security of our workers, are not salient. Income taxes, the benefits of income tax deductions, are also not salient because our system charges taxes the year after income is earned. On balance, Mr. Speaker, sir, I believe alternative work which fills your wallet with take-home income today may sometimes be too attractive, especially for younger Singaporeans who may be tempted to forgo starting formal careers. And our tax system has a role to play in adjusting this balance. So taken together, Mr. Speaker, we must continue the work of restructuring our tax system for the future economy to ensure the incentives are right for all workers. In the future economy where income and jobs may vary highly from year to year, we should seriously consider a pay-as-you-earn or contribute-as-you-earn income tax system, which will help to smooth take-home income for workers. We may even enlist the help of the alternative work platforms to arrange for these deductions and contributions to be made at the source when the income is earned. These are issues for another day, of course, so, Mr. Speaker, sir, I am in support of this bill. Thank you.